Hello and welcome to this second lecture on music theory. Today we're looking at transposing songs, how to transpose songs. In the last lecture, we examined the chromatic scale, and we wanted to just add to that the equally tempered scale that is used in Western music, the ratios between the various notes have been carefully thought out to make changing keys of songs extremely easy. It's mainly because of the relationship of the frequencies of the various individual notes of the scale, the chromatic scale that is, that it allows very simple transposition of songs from one key to the next. So we're going to look at a simple chord sequence, and you're going to see how easy it is to do. Although I have there shown on the board a 2-octave piano scale, you will remember that if you're doing this on a guitar or bass guitar, each of those notes shown there is a fret. So to go from G to G sharp, you just pull up a fret. To go from G to F sharp, you just go down a fret. Okay? So the relationship between the guitar and the keyboard becomes obvious. Okay, so we're going to look at a simple chord sequence, and we are going to transpose it together for our lesson today, which will be fairly short. Okay, so let's start with C and go to A minor, and then to D minor, and then back to C, and then to D minor, and then to G minor, and then to B flat, C, B flat, C, F, and finally A minor, D minor, C, D minor, E flat, G minor, and C. All right, this is called a chord progression, and this is the progression of the chords in the verse of our hypothetical song, which actually, of course, is a real world song, but we won't name it for right now. This is in the key of F, even though, as you can see, it does not start on F. While many songs start on the actual chord of the key, this chord progression has been taken not from the very beginning of the song, but from further down. But I want you to understand that it is not absolutely necessary for a song to start on the actual tonic or the chord that defines the key. So we're going to transpose this chord progression here that we have into the key of D. All right. So we want to go from F to D. Right? Okay, so let's do that over here. Well, we're running out of space on this one page, but I want to do it down here. So in the bottom part, and so we're going to write here D. And have the arrow pointing downwards, because I want you to be able to see for yourself the relationship between the two keys while you have the piano keyboard in front of you. To go from the key of F to the key of D, we have to look at, do nothing. It's nothing harder than looking at the two notes, D and F. Now you will see that the D and the F are separated by two semitones. This one, I need to change the color to highlight that. Okay, so there's E here. I'll put a little X, and I'll change the color quickly to a light color. And I'll put a little X here to show you. Okay, so looking at my keyboard, you will see that D is below F, and there's only two semitones separating to it. So you count down 1, 2, 3 notes below. 1 for the E, 2 for the D sharp, and 3 for the D. You count down 3 semitones in each of those chords that you have there. It's totally mechanical, and that's why it's so easy for you to transpose online, because you can just go to Song Select or any of those sites and pick what key you want it in, and the computer does it for you. All the computer does is add a certain number of semitones to the letters that are shown there. Okay? So if I have C, what is C going to become? If I go down 3 semitones, it becomes A. Can't you see that? So what I have to do is let's use a different color for the actually for the transpose material. We can use a nice sky blue. So I start this progression with A, which is 3 semitones. I'm looking at the thing here. Let's look at the keyboard again. We see 1. Got to change that color in order to get it. 2. And well, we need to go to our sky blue 3. Okay? So C is 0 because that's what we have here. We will say that. So we go down 1, 2, 3, and 3 is A. So we write A. Just like we did with F, 1, 2, 3, and we end up on D. So when we look at the A now, and we go down 1, 2, 3, we end on F sharp. So we would write here F sharp minor, because it keeps the major or minor. That doesn't change. And then we're back to D. When we go down 1, 2, 3 from D, 1, 2, 3, what are we on? B. So the next chord is B minor. And then we don't have to worry until we see a new name that we don't recognize. Because what are we back to? We're back to C. Well, we know that C is A, so we just write down the A. We've already worked out the D minor, and the D minor is the B minor. See, so it becomes extremely easy. And now we're at G minor, so we do have to take a look at the G. When we count down 1, 2, 3 from the G, we are right on the E. So this becomes, the G minor becomes E minor, right? Now, once again, the B flat is found on the keyboard, and you just go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and we're down at G. So the B flat becomes G. We already know what the C is. The C is A. The B flat is G. And the F, we haven't encountered that. Yes, we did. The F is D. We did the F. That was the first one we did. Okay? So we're nearly finished. The lesson for today is nearly finished because we've already got the A minor, which is F sharp minor. We have already done the D minor as well. And we have A and a B minor and C to E minor. So basically there has been no new chords added. So we really don't have, there is a chord in there I'm seeing that we haven't considered. What about that? There is the E flat. The E flat hasn't appeared before. Let us look at the E flat and see what the E flat becomes. The E flat goes down 1, 2, 3, and the E flat produces the C here, which we haven't seen before. You will say, oh, well, the original thing has in C all over the place. Yes, that's true. That's true. But this new transposition that we're doing does not have in any C. So the C here corresponds to the E flat. Okay? So let's just wrap it up now nicely for you. Wrap it up in linen, as they say. And the last chord is back to the C, which in our progression is now A. Okay, so that's about it. That's about it, guys. It doesn't, transposing chords is no harder than that. You don't even need a computer to do it for you. We eventually, if we practice enough, will learn to do it on the fly. But if you're not fast enough to do it on the fly, don't beat yourself up yet. Just take 2 minutes and get a little pen and paper before you start to play, and you can do your own transpositions anytime you want. Now, don't you feel good about that? Thanks for joining us today, and we hope you will enjoy your music lessons in future. See you soon again.